Friends, welcome to my video. Kindly click on the CC button for subtitles. To start, metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that deals with the fundamental nature of reality. It explores the relationship between mind and matter, substance and attribute, potentiality and actuality. Simply put, it's about asking the deep and fundamental questions about existence, reality, consciousness, and the nature of things. The term, metaphysics, itself comes from Greek roots meaning, beyond nature. The name is derived from a work by Aristotle, which was given the title, Metaphysics, because it came after his work called, Physics. So, metaphysics literally means, after physics, but it has come to stand for the study of what transcends physics or natural sciences. Metaphysics is divided into several branches, the most significant of which are ontology, cosmology, and epistemology. Ontology asks questions about existence itself. What is being? What does it mean for something to exist? How can we categorize or differentiate between entities that exist? These questions probe the very essence of what it means to be. Cosmology, meanwhile, studies the origins and structure of the universe. Why is there something rather than nothing? Why is the universe the way it is, and not different? And what, exactly, is the universe in the first place? Epistemology, although it is often considered a separate branch of philosophy, is crucial to metaphysics because it explores the nature of knowledge. What can we know, and how can we know it? What are the limits to our knowledge, and what lies beyond those limits? Now, let's take a deep breath. That's quite a bit to take in, I know. But these fundamental questions are at the heart of metaphysics and have been the subject of debate among philosophers for millennia. Metaphysics also asks questions about the nature of reality. Is reality fundamentally one thing, monism, or is it many things, pluralism? Is reality material, materialism, mental, idealism, or something else entirely, dualism, neutral monism? These questions, and others like them, seek to get at the very nature of the world we live in. Then there are questions about properties and change. Are properties like redness or roundness real, or are they just in our minds? Is change an illusion, or is it a real part of the universe? These questions push us to consider the relationship between our minds and the world around us. But metaphysics doesn't just stay in the abstract. It reaches into our everyday lives by asking about personal identity and free will. What makes you the same person you were 10 years ago? Are you free to choose your actions, or are they all predetermined by the laws of physics? You might be wondering why anyone should bother with these head-spinning questions. Why is metaphysics important? Well, whether we realize it or not, our answers to metaphysical questions shape our worldviews. They influence how we see ourselves and others, our moral judgments, and even our decisions. If we believe in free will, we'll likely view personal responsibility differently than if we think our actions are all predetermined. Moreover, wrestling with metaphysical questions helps us develop critical thinking skills. It pushes us to question our assumptions, consider different perspectives, and use reason to navigate complex issues. The first is the nature of space and time. Is time a series of distinct moments, like the frames of a film, or is it a continuous flow? Is space just emptiness between things, or is it a thing in itself? These questions don't just perplex philosophers but also physicists, leading to a field called the philosophy of space and time, which is effectively a blend of metaphysics and physics. Then there's the question of cause and effect, also known as causality. We often assume that one thing can cause another to happen, but what does it mean for something to be a cause? Can there be an effect without a cause, or a cause without an effect? Next up is the principle of identity. This principle states that everything is identical to itself, but metaphysics asks us to delve deeper. For instance, if you replace all the parts of a ship one by one, is it still the same ship? This thought experiment, known as the ship of Theseus, challenges our intuitive understanding of identity. We also deal with the concept of possibilities and alternate realities in metaphysics. Could things have been different than they are? Are there other possible worlds, and if so, what are they like? These aren't just science fiction questions, they're real areas of metaphysical inquiry. Finally, let's touch on abstract objects and universals. These are things like numbers, moral values, or even the color red. These aren't physical things you can touch or see, yet we talk about them as though they're real. So, are they? Now, I've thrown a lot at you, but don't let it intimidate you. One thing to remember is that metaphysics isn't about memorizing answers, it's about asking questions. It's a field where curiosity is key, and where confusion can often lead to insight. While these questions may seem daunting, they're also part of the reason why metaphysics is so thrilling. It offers a chance to explore the biggest, most fundamental questions about reality and our place within it. Whether you're pondering the nature of time while waiting for the bus, questioning the reality of your senses while watching a movie, or debating the existence of numbers during math homework, you're engaging with metaphysics. It's a field that isn't confined to classrooms or textbooks, but one that permeates our everyday lives. So, welcome to the grand adventure of metaphysics. You're in for quite the intellectual ride.